Today is a travel day for me, and I am prepared. I am gonna do my best to get through the travels without falling off the ketogenic diet. The next 24 hours are going to take me from one time zone to the next. And here's the tricks that I have for success. As I walk through an airport, I am no different than anybody else. The three musts that I have on a ketogenic diet are, number one, I have salt. And I mean, I'm totally a snob about this. I absolutely love the Redmond salt. So they have these great little travel size containers, and I fill them up and I pack them in my purse. I've talked about this on other podcasts, but the mineral concentration in this salt is something super satisfying to me, and it only takes a brief splash on my tongue to wipe out those memories, to suppress those cravings, and get through that hiccup of a moment. If the salt doesn't work, or more likely if delays happen and I end up in an airport way longer than I'm planning, my strategy is to not eat until sunrise the next day of wherever I'm traveling. In a perfect world, I would fast. I would have no food. I would have just my favorite bubble water. One more time. So husband is usually in charge of finding me my bubble water. And this is the second vending machine I've looked at. And indeed, it has lots of options. But none of those are bubble water. So traveling is something I love doing. I love doing it with my kids and my husband. And we had a season in life where we traveled to Haiti multiple times. And we were not on a ketogenic diet. We were standard American diets, but there was an experience in Haiti that taught me how important fasting was when traveling. We arrived in Haiti, and the place we were going that we were supposed to be supporting did not have food. And I know that sounds like extreme, but it wasn't that extreme for their environment. Over the next 12 to 16 hours, we all got through it. Now, we were going from a standard American diet to fasting, but I'll tell you, those 12 to 16 hours, they were rotten. What happened on the other side of that is we weren't gonna get food for another 24 hours. And we all remarked that night how easy it was for us to go to sleep. We had gone through the toughest part, and what I know now is that we were transitioning into ketosis. That as we got into the ketogenic state, our brains were clearer, the time zone shift was much easier, and we all had this sense of joy, of appreciation, of gratefulness that seemed to come so much easier on that trip. It was years later when I was reading about the importance of when changing time zones and trying to reset a circadian rhythm, how much fasting could do that in a really powerful way. And in part, it's the surge in those ketones that help with that transition. So there's three ways that I add exogenous ketones. If I'm failing big time and I need a flavor with some sweetness, I will take the chocolate and add it to black coffee. If I can get away without any caffeine and I just need some energy, the cucumber lemon mixes well with water and has a really light flavor. If I'm not that far onto the struggle bus, I like to have a few capsules of ketones in a capsule. There's no stevia, it's just exogenous ketones, and 4 or 5 of those capsules can get me through what would normally have been a binge at a restaurant in a place where I would eat way too much and it would ruin my transition. Number 1, we talked about the salt. That's really important, that's where I start. Number 2, I've got ketones packed and I am trying to fast. But number 3 is I bring along distractions. I actually have several plans in my mind that I'm gonna do while on the plane, while waiting for the plane. If we get delayed, if we get delayed again, if we get delayed again. I have a couple of books that I use to really find peacefulness. And the one I'm reading now is Fasting for Breakthrough and Deliverance. And I read through how other people have succeeded at this. And that seems to help me with not just the desire to keep going, but also kind of hone in the focus and be able to find that gratitude list. If you want to learn more about brains and ketones, check out this video. Or tune in every Sunday night, 6 o'clock Central Time, for my live show as I share my journey and I tell stories about the patients that I see and those that I've been helping along the way with the ketogenic diet. We'll see you there.